Thank you. Okay, so my name is Maria Pannan, and before I start, I want to share with you a little bit of the history, how we start these meetings. So you have a little bit of background history on that. And I am located in Denver, Colorado, and these meetings start 8 years ago here in Denver. Used to be in person. And then we moved it to online in 2020 during the pandemic. That's when this one really became a global meeting. Before, what we did was actually we used to get together and go to restaurants. The people here in Denver, the members, we used to go to restaurants from different countries. So that's how these whole meetings start. And I was the one who started that. I had the opportunity at one point to be actually the, the, the executive director for the global chapter. Then I stepped down because of my business got very busy, but I've been with the chamber for many, many years since they start here in Denver. So let me tell you how we are going to do this meeting so we all get something out of the meeting. First thing that we're going to do, we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to share where we are located. Then we are going to talk about the business that we do or the product that we sell, the company that we work for. And then very important, be very specific about what is a good lead for you. What will be a good lead for you? The better, the more clear you are, the better off we are. So perhaps at this moment, we don't have any lead, but we meet people all the time. And they say, oh, I know someone who do this or that. So let's be very specific about the lead that works for you, the leads that you need. Then we're going to usually add a little bit of sparkle. And that is, today we're going to talk about what was the last book that you read that you like and why? Okay, so I'm going to start with myself. I will do that so you can see how we're going to do it, and then we're going to pass it to the next person. My name is Maria Punan. I am from Bogota, Colombia, South America. However, I've been living in Denver for the last 30 years. I actually lead the Leadership Institute. We provide certifications of leadership for all kinds of industries. So certifications in educations, especially in leadership skills, is what we do at the Institute. A good lead for me is anybody who really want to polish in leadership skills. Anybody from any industry and who would like to be certified. I actually want to share with you one thing is this year in January, I start my PhD. So I have been busy studying. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I love it. I do love it. And it's very controversial because it's also very something that right now in the climate of the United States is very controversial. It's social justice. So anyways, so now about a book. I will say a book that I read that really had a big impact on me lately is a book that is called We Make the Road by Walking, and really talks about how people from other countries, regardless of how much they achieve success, they still have lived with the mindset of survivors. So they stress those survival skills, no matter how much success they have, because that was actually printed in their DNA. That when they, that is so interesting. It's more at the psychological level of the mindset of survivors. So that book is something that I really like, because I have seen that not only in education, but I have seen that in the professional world. What is a survival mindset? And it's so interesting. What are those skills that people demonstrate in the workplace? You lie. Sometimes you cheat. Or you cheat yourself, So what are those survival skills? So it's so interesting. That book was really good. So now that I talk about my book, I'm gonna pass it to Carla.
Oh, thank you. It's always a hard one to follow when someone knows what they're doing. So hi, my name's Carla. So I'm in Surrey, in England, which is just outside, which is west of London, to make it easier. So to probably narrow it down for you, I'm about 20 minutes from Heathrow. So I get to watch all the big planes overhead. So I'm trying to think. So basically, I have been on here before, and I do love the fact that we have to dive into a lot of deeper things, and just really why we see that we're here. So I'm a sales performance partner. So I've been in sales for an incredibly long time. I've been selling from the beginning. I was the standard BDR, lifting up that phone and annoying everybody and trying to get them to buy something. It's just the way it started out. And then I progressed up through the ranks into building teams, hiring them, putting them into companies, writing the processes, writing the onboarding, writing everything. So pretty much working alongside Series A's companies, when they just get funding to go in. But then once I'd done all that, I realized I'd be sat there bored for an awfully long time because I like the challenge. So I then set up my own business to then go and do it myself. So I offer certain packages for people. But what I also try and do is reverse it slightly, because not all companies look after their sales teams and look after people and provide them with the training that they really should have, but they have big expectations from them. So I also then have opened up packages for individuals that if you are starting out in your sales career, if you're starting out to sell in your business, or you need to know, what you need to talk about when you are hiring sales, it's better off to have a bit of knowledge, because you'll save yourself a lot of time, money, and heartache, really. So I'm just trying to do a little reverse on that one. So anybody that's going into a sales environment, they have that knowledge already, and it also then commands a bigger salary, and that company will then hopefully take on their skill set, because it is very much ignored at the top if they've never sold before, but very good at what they do. A good lead for me would be anybody really, like you say, in that position that's really looking to take their skills to the next level, have the confidence as well, understand, the road that you have to walk along, or certainly a company that that has a sales team that are always saying we're stagnant, we never get to the next stage. It's a good time to go in then and really push that forwards. The latest book, I would say I'm going to tell you the book I'm reading at the moment, because I'm finding it fascinating. I'm reading The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. He's phenomenal. And it's just a case of a case study of he says it because he's in sales as well, so he's very raw with how you take things, and I like that. So he's made it, he's then lost it, and then he's made it again. So I'm kind of reading the kind of people that I want to get to the stage of. So next level up, why not take it from the experience that's already been out there?
That's really good. Thank you, Carla. I really appreciate that. I think that talking about the books that we like, I love to read, but it's so great to hear why you like it, why you like it and how
it's impacting. Yes.
Yes, it is important. It is important because sometimes get a good recommendation of a book is so important. Yeah. So thank you, Carla. You gonna call someone?
You're welcome. Let's go for Mona.
Thank you, Carla. Good morning. I am here in Orlando, Florida, and I serve as the global advisor for the Global Chamber. I have been in sales and leadership for over 30 decades. Specifically, by default, all my businesses are intertwined. By default, real estate, a broker focusing on portfolios, corporate portfolios, and international investments. So from there, I developed a deep curiosity about cultures, how they function, because I have seen quite a stark difference between one culture to another. So I started looking into it, got deeper. As a matter of fact, Carla, I flew a few years ago. I flew to London, right outside of London, got my certification of cross-cultural training and leadership. And that's what I've been focusing on for the last few years. Because if we miss culture, we miss everything. I do have also a nonprofit organization called the Global Women of Impact, which obviously you see in the back, that is, I am so passionate about. Same thing, intertwined, where we help build women leaders who are ready to excel in the new global environment. Meaning, we train them on negotiation, leadership, leading cross-cultural teams, and selling. I am just finished my book. I'm not going to say finished. It is finished as far as content, but going back and do some revisions, it is another whole animal there. So every time I see a chapter, I say, okay, this is not it. I've got to redo some stuff. It is focusing, same thing. It's called, I'm not gonna share the title, although I do have the title, but it is focusing on helping women lead, negotiate, and excel in any culture. Hopefully, it will be out in the next couple of months. I'm hoping for my studies as far as university, master's in political analysis on international relations, which is obviously everything. Everything is coming back to the central theme, which is international culture, sales, leadership, and understanding people's behavior based on their cultural programming since early age. I am originally from Morocco, and that's where I was born and lived for quite some times, but I lived in the United States more than I lived in Morocco. As far as the book that I have picked up recently, it's right here on top of my desk, and it's called The $1 Million Secret Hidden in Your Mind. Why did I pick this book? Because I conduct mastermind training every single week, and it is refreshing to go back and remind ourselves that the mind is powerful. So often we get stuck sitting there overthinking, not believing in our ability to achieve, and it's all right here. So if we can control that, we can control everything. So who are my clients right now? If anybody obviously relocating or investing here in the state of Florida, I'm always here for that part. But the customers or the endeavors that I am looking for is training, educating, and consulting coaching on cross culture. That has to do with negotiations, with leadership, and with sales and building healthy teams where harmony prevails. These are my passions, and of course, in the world of female entrepreneurship. Hopefully, I summed up everything that I am passionate about and I do in a clear, concise manner where everybody can understand it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona. So let's go back to a good lead for you. A good lead for you are women, I believe.
Yeah, companies,
Okay.
companies, leaders who are looking to train their women, their female executives, staff, or anyone working to excel in sales, negotiations, and leading across cultures.
Sales negotiations or leading across cultures. Thank you so much, Mona. It's so important because the more clear we are, the better off we are. So thank you. You gonna pass it to someone?
Yes, I see Pamela.
Pamela, before you go, I want to share with you that one of the skills for us as a networkers, I mean, this is social investment, this is social capital for us, is to listen. Listening is one of the skills that we need to stretch a lot, like a muscle. So let's make sure to listen clearly what other people is saying in this meeting, because right now, I'm telling you, I have my educator hat. And sometimes we say, let's go around who remember what this person do. So just want to make sure to let's stretch that muscle of listening. Okay, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Mona, and thank you, Maria. Well, I already started introducing myself. I'm sorry for not following the procedure. Um, as I initially said, I'm a human resource practitioner and consultant by profession. So, a good lead for me are small businesses, in particular, that don't have a structured HR system in their companies, that need some advice and some mentorship on how to navigate the employees. Because after COVID, I realized there was a high rise of SMEs, small to medium businesses. The structures of companies have changed a lot. And that's why I decided to shift from working in the corporate and shifting to consultation in the HR field. So a good lead for me would be a small business, small to medium business that doesn't have a structured HR system, but that needs guidance, procedures on how to get the best from their employees and how to navigate the strategy of the business, the goals, and the workforce that they have. I have 5 years work experience in the HRI, in the manufacturing industry, and also in the municipality. So that is the social sector, if I'm not mistaken. And the experience, I've had exposure in the United States for a year and a half months. It has given me some perspective of how other companies are working across the world. So also how to navigate, especially for companies that are trying to move to Africa, where I grew up, where I have more cultural experience and knowledge. Companies who are coming from Europe, Asia, that are starting businesses in Africa, that wants to navigate how the HR work, engaging the African culture in their business and set forward. And that's it on my career wise. I have a second lead that to be very good for me. I'm looking for a mentor who is in entrepreneurship that can also guide me on how who has experience in guiding someone who's worked from corporate as a media manager who's shifting to actually navigating their own consultation, the entrepreneurship road. I believe that's a different setup from following procedures to actually creating and giving others leadership. I think I had Mona talking about women who are moving to leadership. So a woman who's open to mentoring someone who's moving from the corporate structure and moving to be a leader on their own and be independent. That will be helpful. And a book I recently read was The Obstacles, the Way. It's been very interesting. I think I've read it twice, by Ryan Holiday. It was published in 2014. It's about navigating and triumphing through trials and tribulation. It talks about an entrepreneur who rose in times where mostly there was social unrest, when like COVID, like wars, that individuals, it was the moment when they came up with ideas, fresh ideas, and they maximized on those opportunities. While least other people were looking for survival ways and pulling a leg back. That's when the actual advice. So I'm learning a lot from that book, just how to train your mindset on how to navigate during those times. Thank you very
Perfect.
much.
Thank you, Pamela. Welcome. And I'm glad that you asked for a mentor because mentors make a huge difference in our lives. We all are here thanks to people who help us to get here. So good for you, and I hope you find a good mentor. Really make a difference.
And what country was she out of? Because she said Africa, but Africa is a giant continent. What country?
Okay, I'm currently based in South Africa. It's in the
South
southern
Africa.
part of Africa. Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mona. Yes, Pamela started in the beginning with the meeting start. Actually, she mentioned where she was located. She didn't say that when she introduced herself, but I'm so glad that you catch that. So, Pamela, you need to call someone in the meeting. Who are you going to call?
I see Maria Christine.
Hi, thank you, Pamela. Yes, I'm Marie-Christine, or you can call me Mary or Mary Christine. It's not very a popular name in English. So I'm French Canadian. I was born in Quebec, Canada, and I'm currently living in Mexico City. It has been around 7 years that I'm here. And I joined a few days ago the chapter here in Mexico City. So I'm looking forward to connect and grow within the network. I work for I'm a business partnership specialist at SMB Global Marketing. It is a multilingual digital marketing agency, and we help small and mid-sized businesses to break into new markets and connect with diverse audiences through culturally relevant strategies. For us, the culture aspect is very important. Services that we specialize in: multilingual SEO, search engine optimization. We do custom website design and development for some companies, branding, content strategies, and digital ads. And a bit more. So we are a multicultural team. We're only 6 for the moment. The founder is located in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm here, and we have other people in the team based in Europe. But what makes us, I think, a great company is that we can work natively in different languages. So French, obviously, English, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. So this is great. So we can work with companies around the world, and we go beyond translation. For us, it's very important to help craft a message and identity that truly resonates across cultures. For example, search engine optimization. Someone in Colombia might not be searching with the same words like someone in Mexico, for example. So for us, it's very important for companies that want to enter new markets to speak the cultural language of their audiences. Yeah, so that's it. I would say that a good lead, obviously small to medium sized businesses that want to expand their digital visibility or market reach. We have worked with logistic companies, for example, in Canada, United States, and Mexico. We've worked with schools in Europe as well, international schools. So I would say also cross-border or international companies like the logistic sector, for example. And we're looking also, we're looking to connect with other leaders in the industry, business development manager, marketing directors, digital strategist, because sometimes they develop the strategy, but they don't implement it. So I think our agency could be a good complement. I don't know if that's a word, but a good fit or a good connection. I read recently, I'm a mom of two. My baby's one 15 months, and I have a daughter also, she's 5. So I'm trying to read as much as possible, but sometimes it's a bit hard to find a time during the day. But we were on vacation on holidays a few weeks ago, and I read a book, a marketing book from a friend. Actually, he's a teacher here in Mexico City, and he's part of the Global Chamber network. His name is Abraham Gaifman. Gaifman. I don't know if I pronounce it well, but he just wrote this third book, and his third book is called in español, Marketing para Distraídos. So I would say for distracted, I don't know how to translate it, maybe marketing for distracted consumers, no? So it's a nice book because it explains how the brands can connect with people in an interconnected world, and of course with a lot of digital distractions. So what I liked about it is that it's not just theory, but it gives you a practical example that you can apply to real businesses. So basically, it teaches you how to simplify a message nowadays in 2025, that you need to simplify it and focus on what truly matters to capture the consumer attention. So I thought it gave very good example for today's context.
Thank you so much. That's great, Mary
Thank you so
Christine.
much.
This is good. I want to just remind for those who have their camera off to please turn it on. It's just part of the meeting. Mary Christine, I would like to ask you to think about what advice regarding marketing you will give to a small business. So when they hire an organization, a marketing firm like yours, they should look after, or how they can, with a small budget, reach out to more audience. So give us something. When we finish the round here, I would like to give you a couple minutes for you to share that, okay? Not
That
yet.
sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great. Do you want to call someone?
Yeah, I'm gonna call Cristina Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mary. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Cristina Gutierrez from Be the Change HR. I'm currently located in Anaheim, California, in the United States. I've actually had the opportunity to live in Guadalajara, Mexico, in Florida, and now back in California. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. What we do is we offer fractional or outsourced HR support for small to mid-sized companies. So we focus on headcount, anyone hiring their first employee to a couple thousand. We also have a social impact piece. We love working with a lot of nonprofits as well, where we specifically have created a job readiness program for survivors of sex trafficking coming back into the workplace. And we provide job readiness courses and one-on-one coaching, either virtually or in person, just depending on that facility. The goal is obviously for these survivors to find meaningful employment. A good lead for us is a company that is struggling. And we have a little bit of a different facet. So some companies have no HR and some companies have a full team, but they maybe need additional resources to deal with an employee issue, a compliance challenge, an audit. So think either project-based or just like fractional support, like almost a fractional CHRO. That is usually where we step in. We do have companies that basically outsource the entire function, just because it's more convenient and it's a bit more affordable. And again, they get a team versus this one employee. So basically anybody who house is on fire, they're like, oh, I need additional human resources support. That could be a possible connection. But right now, the goal is in this chamber is trying to find companies who are coming into the US. We actually acquired a couple of new clients, which I'm excited about, specifically coming from Australia and the UK, and they have set up in the US as well. A book that I've read, I kind of reread. I'm in the same boat as Marie Christine. I have a 4.5-year-old who takes up a lot of my activities and my reading, but I am rereading Atomic Habits. I'm going through a health change. I just turned 40. I'm sharing all my business, but why not? I just turned 40, so trying to make a lot of changes physically, emotionally, and also health wise. So that book is just amazing because it really breaks down how to make small changes, make them have big impact. So it's on my vision board with all the 4 rules, make it look attractive, make it easy, make it rewarding, etc. So if you haven't read the book, I would totally recommend it because it's such a fun read.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you for actually talking about your book. And yes, I applaud you for making changes in your life. I think that that's very smart. I think that's one of the biggest responsibilities that we have with ourselves
Yes.
is to take care of ourselves. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, there is no business, no family, no network, nothing.
Yes.
Oh, yes, and yes, and yes. And that reminds me, a really good book actually that I just read is about the whole thing about diets that help the body for inflammation, because we eat so much stuff that bring inflammation and really affects our body. So thank you for that book. I will check it out. Christina, did you want to call someone?
I do. I would love to hear from Donna Smiley.
Well, it's not even afternoon yet. Jesus, it's morning. My days are running together, and I'm sorry I keep getting on and off camera. I have someone here fixing the cameras in my home, so I'm so sorry for that. But good morning, everyone. My name is Donna Smiley. I'm a commercial real estate broker. I've been in the space for 10 years. I'm in the Atlanta, Georgia market. I'm also licensed in Florida. I work with cross-border opportunities between India and the state of Georgia. I'm very heavily invested in India with a lot of different projects. I just assisted 3 Indian companies with their first US office, actually brick and mortar here in the state of Georgia. And I'm excited to be here. I'm not a member of the chamber. I am a part of the Georgia Indo-American Chamber, but I'm not a part of the chamber you all have. But I am looking into becoming a member and learning more about what you all have to offer and how I can be a resource. As far as clients, or a good referral for me would just be anyone looking to buy, sell, lease commercial real estate. I've done every type of deal under the sun in commercial real estate. I sell land to developers, multifamily, primarily mixed use projects. I'm a business broker, hold a CAM license in property management for assets. Yeah, you name it, I pretty much have done it. I can talk all day, but we'll keep it short. So yeah, so anyone that's looking for buying, selling, leasing, if I can be of some assistance, please let me know. And the last book that I read was The Secret. I've read that many times. Very big on manifestation. I feel like that's how I've gotten where I am in my career very fast, with manifestation and reading Rhonda Byrne's books. Her books are amazing. And I'm actually about to start reading, I just ordered it on Amazon, Smart Women Finish Rich, by David Bach. So that's the next book I'm reading.
Wow, then I will check that book. That's interesting because I read an article not too long ago about when you do what you really love to do, really is when this money comes. You really have to feel it. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyways, do you wanna call someone?
Yes. I see Anna Etten. Hopefully I said your last name correctly.
You did. Yeah, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. I am based in North Carolina. Let's see, there's so many things to talk about. So I am the co-owner of Tapestry Partner Solutions. We are a small consultancy, two-person power team, and we are focused on people-centric HR systems and really rebuilding the broken systems that create broken people. Firmly believing, all of the headlines, quiet quitting, quiet cracking, all of the new quiet thing, I don't think we're so quiet about it anymore, but all of those things are the symptoms of systems, processes that are broken inside organizations. And so I spent 25 years, 18 of them at Bank of America, 6 of them at Amazon, building global systems. And I firmly believe that organizations can make even the most difficult decisions in ways that cause the least amount of trauma to the human beings that they employ. And so we are interested in working with organizations that actually want to dig in and kick the tires on their own systems and figure out what's broken. We have a particular lens of generational dynamics, and so I've spent about 10 years talking with organizations, both my own and our clients, about um, really how to tap into the strengths of each generation and the nuances of skills developed. We are now in a situation in the first time, maybe in history, where the younger generations are teaching the older generation skills that they never knew before. Typically, it has always been the older generations passing down skills in every culture. It is the elders that teach the younger people through apprenticeship, through families, through formality. And now we are at a time in which we are going to our kids to learn foundational life skills about how to just function at work sometimes, right? How do I do this thing at my job? And you're going to your 12-year-old. So anyway, I could talk for days about that, but that's our particular lens that we help companies really to take dive into. I like to challenge leaders, particularly with Gen Z. If I hear complaints about the youngest generation, I'm a huge fan. And I like to say that we can continue to admire the problem for a while, or we could start tackling it now. But this generation has experienced things that none of us have. And so there are some foundational changes. Within our purview, we also own something called the Global ERG Network, and that is explicitly focused around organizational employee resource groups of all names, whether you call them business resource groups or networks or staff networks, whatever the nomenclature may be. But working with both the ERG leaders themselves and the organizations to help them really maximize the time of those incredibly dedicated volunteers that lead these powerful employee groups, but also really tying it to business goals and helping the organization maximize the impact of what employees are offering through their extra work and their volunteerism. So we are hosting a conference in Tucson. We've met a lot of Global Chamber members thus far. We're pretty new, maybe 2 or 3 months in our membership. But we are hosting a conference in Tucson in November that is focused around ERGs. We bring together HR leaders, DEI teams, business leaders, and employees that are leading these powerful groups and really talk about what's new, what's next, and how to do this, particularly in this climate, in the external climate. How do we continue serving human beings who are traditionally underserved in our community? So our ideal clients are small to mid-sized organizations, really. I mean, a lot of the giant organizations, the ones that we have worked in ourselves, they have their own internal teams and think they know best, and that's fine. We're interested in working with organizations that actually want to do the work, that's not performative. It's not, we're not checking a box. We really want to dismantle some broken systems. So and then in terms of books, I literally was going to say Atomic Habit. So I if anybody saw me react when that was mentioned, it was not like, it was just because I was like, oh, I love that book. So I got a real kick out of that. But in terms of, like, I just dove in and I wanted to give this a plug because this is a human being that I respect so deeply. So I'm reading a book, and I'll drop it in here, called Connecting Dots: A Blind Life. And this is written by a former colleague of mine at Amazon who was impacted by a terrible accident when he was 4 years old and physically disfigured, as well as becoming blind, but also has become a distinguished engineer, one of the top scientists at Amazon, a MacArthur Award winner, like just incredible human being. And so he's written this book and I've just begun it. So I wanted to honor my friend, but also just turn you on to what I expect to be a probably really fascinating read about his life as a blind person and as a scientist and researcher and doing really big things in the world. So anyway, I'm going to shut up. I haven't been here long enough to know who's been tapped and who has not been. So Maria, if you can help direct me.
Absolutely. Actually, we're gonna go. Thank you, Anna. Before I move on, thank you so much. I will actually add you a name that you might be interested in actually reading. It's called Generations. So I will put it in the chat. Okay.
Oh yes, please.
The talk that I think that will be a fantastic book for you to read. We're gonna go with the Professor Dr. P.K. Radput. I don't know if I pronounce your name, but please go ahead.
Thank you so much. This is Dr. P.K. Rajput from India. I have 43 years of professional experience in the corporate life. And I also did my PhD. Before to it, I did my MBA, right? Because that is the way that we were dealing with the corporate life. I was heading a $5 billion business in one of the leading pharmaceutical companies, where we take care from HR to L&D to the finance to building the brand, building the divisions and all, and with a team of 840 people. So that was the core forte of mine, is from the marketing to the leadership. And that was a complete journey which I had traveled and I still travel. And I'm very happy to be a part of here, because when we talk about the women empowerment, when we talk about the gender equality, why only one gender should be there? It should be a mix of both the genders, which is very important. And that is the reason the entire world be able to grow. We also know what is the black lacuna is there. And that is the reason that I am there in your seminar. Now coming to the second part, the book. The book which I like it is the Simon Sinek. The name of Simon Sinek book, Eat, the Leaders Eat Last. Leaders eat last, because this is the way the leadership role is there. It is not that you are leading it. It is like you are helping other people to become the leader, which is very important. And during my journey, when I used to sit in the boardroom, I always used to say, when the 10 people are sitting in the boardroom and any outsider is coming and peeping, he or she should not able to understand who is the leader, because that is the way that we have to empower everybody to build as a leader. In the due course of the time, while learning with these things, I have written 3 books. The first book is The Leaders with Ladders. This is an Amazon bestseller in India. The Leaders with Ladders. Here I've spoken about the leadership, the skills which are required, and the talent which doesn't require any effort, like speaking truth, coming on time, integrity, all these things. These are the talents are there, which doesn't require anything. This is first book which I wrote. Then after the COVID, the other book I wrote, this is the Leaders for the Transformational Leadership. Because today we require a transformational leader. That's why we are able to perform, because we say that we have to upskill ourselves, reskill ourselves. So we have to reform to perform, and without transformation, we cannot do it. So that was the second book which has become Amazon bestseller in India. It is not available across. The third book, this year I wrote Attitude Matters. Attitude Matters. And this is again an Amazon bestseller. Why? Because normally we speak about it, that this person's attitude is very good, he or she will be able to adopt the thing. This person is like this, right? So we start blaming the people. But at the same time, when we go to the fulcrum of that attitude, how it started, right? We will be able to understand why this attitude is there, the ABC part of that attitude, that Moshware, the BNC, and the cognitive part, which was developed from the initial stage when the person was in the child age. So that is the thing which was there. And that's why I always give my talk. I have given more than 500 leadership sessions across. I'm a part of multiple groups. I keep on learning from others and keep on sharing to others. And my 2 basic forte is cross-functional leadership, because throughout my career, I was building the brand, building the division, building the people, building the organization. And second is the emotional healing. Today we talk about technology, but unless and until we will not be helping other person to heal from the heart, the mind will not work. You will agree with me. It's a combination of heart and mind. And today what you said, Maria, we have to listen carefully. The basic thing is we hear only, we don't listen. And if you start listening in any stage of the life, from the child to pediatric to the geriatric, we are able to solve the 90% of the problem. People, they listen only to put their words, which is important. They don't want to listen what the actual person is bearing the pain. So I always becoming a good listener. In my 500 leadership talks, I allow the person to speak and they have the solution. When they speak, they have the solution. And then we are able to give. Coming to building the professional part, the commercial part, that is a different thing. You asked with somebody with Maria, I just want to give us last point. In MBA, we have read STP, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So when we work for the startup, we find out what is the segmentation is there, where to target, and what is my positioning. And the last P is process. What is the process which has to be taken in the timeline? So this is the part towards the commercial side. And the other part is, which is building the people mental health to be more happy so that they should adopt, absorb, and make the things happen. Because when the happiness is there, you can do anything, which is very important. And today, you will agree with me, in the world, it is missing. It is missing because people, they don't have that time. They are just running. And if you just devote little of the time for somebody, I think you will be able to add the fuel of happiness in the person's mind for the family and for the entire area. So that is all about me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. I really appreciate what you said, and I agree 100%. I think that being present, being a good listeners, having a good attitude, and not only thinking about ourselves. Sometimes when we do network, I see people to want to just come and do their speech about themselves and they disconnect. And no, we have to have respect for everybody's time. And that's something that we have to be more mindful. That's why one of the reasons why I say, people, please turn your camera on. We all are present here. It's different when you connect, no matter if we are in our own spaces, in our houses, in our offices, in our business, but it is important. So thank you so much for reminding us how important it is to be present and to be mindful. I think that it's just a matter of respect and authenticity. So thank you so much. Now I'm going to ask Marie Christine to give us 5 minutes, some key advices when businesses don't have a big budget, but really want to get the best of marketing online. Or please. Yeah. Thank you.
That's a great question because a lot of prospect clients, so we offer free consultation. Sometimes we feel that their budget doesn't align, and their budget is a bit limited. So there's ways, obviously, quick ways to improve their digital presence, even though you have a limited budget. So first, we deal sometimes with small to medium-sized businesses that they don't claim their profile on Google. So that's one tip right there, to claim your profile, because if you want to show up higher in the rankings, Google and the reviews help you get there, no? Another way, networking events like this, right? And find people that can complement that can be a good fit for your business. Also, what I recommend for small to medium-sized businesses is to do a SEO audit, search engine optimization audit. So depending on the size of the website, we're talking about $500 to $1,000. US dollars, but technically what we do is that we look, it's like a quick checkup, health checkup of your website. So sorry for babies crying. So it's a plan and a review of how visible your website is right now. And we give you recommendation to help you show up higher in search results. So this is a good way. And after, once you get the tailored plan or steps to how to show up higher or to be more visible online, well, you can see if it's worth investing for search engine optimization services, monthly package, or if you want to improve your website. Sometimes to optimize your website is a quick and a very efficient way to get to your target public. So I would say that all these things are easy to do.
Okay.
And it works very well with a limited budget. So yeah.
Oh, Mary Christine, that's really good. Let's make sure to review those. So you say,
and also I would, if I may, maybe post also on social media, obviously. Sometimes, I see that people are just repost things, but what makes businesses businesses different is when they share, they're also great thinkers, no? So instead of just reposting the post of your company, for example, or someone in the sector or someone else's business, you can add a little comment, share an idea, a helpful tip, for example. So on LinkedIn and Instagram, I think to post at least once a week could be a very good way also to get visibility at no cost.
beautiful.
People are see that, and you appear in their feed, and then they want to network with you, want to connect with you. So it's a great way as well to get to know, to get your business some visibility. I don't know if I expressed myself well. I think I need another coffee.
No,
My
you
brain
did
is
well.
like French, Spanish. Sorry,
No,
it's a bit
gracias.
early.
Gracias. You did very well. I'm gonna go ahead and actually point out what you just said so we all have it clear. I think
Yes.
it's important right now, and I'm gonna ask you to take some time and put your profiles and your contact information in the chat box. And also, before I forget, save it before they close the meeting so you don't lose your notes or all the information. So please go ahead. While I talk about, I go through what Mary Christine said. So what she said is the profile in Google, check that one. 2, go to networking events like this one. 3, she said, check the SEO.
Audit, yeah. So services, like SEO audits, $500 to $1,000, and it gives you a very quick overview of your website health.
Exactly. Optimize your website and post and reply and perhaps post content in your LinkedIn, I believe. And also something that I learned is that when you like something in LinkedIn, it's good because people notice that you are there, but also make comments of something actually give you more visibility. So that's it. We all learn here. Anything else that I forgot, Mary Christine, before you have 1 minute?
No, I think you did a great summary of what I just explained. And if you have any question, you can connect on LinkedIn. I think most of us, we put our info there. So I'm looking forward to connect with you guys. It's every month. Sorry, Marie, it's Maria. It's my first time attending this networking event.
Yes, it's every month. It's the last Wednesday of every month.
Okay, to note it in my calendar.
Yes. So thank you everybody for being in this meeting. this is actually investing in our social capital. The same way that we put money in the bank, we put money in our social bag. So good for all of us. So thank you so much. Have a great day and see you next month. Okay? Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Bye, Maria.
Bye.
Great day.
Bye.
Bye.